I have talked a lot on the podcast about the importance of getting to know your wine importers, and this wine is a perfect example of that because I knew within an instant of meeting Jenna Fields, who owns the German wine collection, that we were going to work together because I wanted to drink what this woman was drinking, what this woman was going out to Germany and bringing back to us here in the United States. I want it in my glass, a little, I'll have what she's having moment, if you will. And the Schnaitmann was the wine that we got to first work on together. I'm super excited. I did not make this wine, to be clear. This was just a wine that she brought to me along with her coworker, Zach, who I love. And I was super excited that we got to include this in the wine club because this is a wine that really represents Germany and German Riesling more specifically in such a beautiful way. This is a gorgeous representation of what Riesling is, what it can be, and why German Riesling is really just one of the great unsung heroes of the wine world outside of the wine world. So we love it in our own little circles. Soms love Riesling, wine professionals love Riesling, but out in the real world, I feel like Riesling just doesn't get the love that it so deserves. And as you smell this wine, I think immediately you're just going to fall in love with it. I mean, right away, you're getting kind of that matchstick flintiness, right? There's a touch of reduction on this wine. So if you love that smell that you often associate with white Burgundy, that is immediately what you're getting. But as this wine opens, you're going to find that there's something really interesting aromatically here. German Riesling and Riesling in general is always going to have this sort of petrol note to it. Yes, petrol like gasoline. You're also going to notice a little bit of apricot, a little bit of peach, and then some florality. Let this wine chill down a little bit, but not too much. Don't get this wine super, super cold because we want to be able to smell what's going on aromatically, and drinking this wine too cold is going to inhibit that. As you taste this wine, it should just be giving you all the feels right now. It's clean, it's crisp, it's textured, but all of those gorgeous peach, lychee notes are just so subtly and delicately placed underneath of there. There's this great brilliant acidity here that's just really balanced by that textural component. So you feel it. It's definitely there. It's definitely present, but it's not the focal point of this wine. The focal point of this wine are the delicious flavors and the aromatics and the texture. I think for me, Riesling and Thai food is such an obvious choice, and it would be so perfect with this wine. I love it because this is a dry Riesling, right? So we're not getting any sort of residual sugar. There is sort of a ripeness component to it that might trick your brain into thinking that there could be a sweetness factor here. But really, this is just a very clean, bone dry Riesling. I'll also mention that this is the Schnaitmann Riesling, the Schnait. This is the 2023 vintage, so this is the most recent vintage from there, from Württemberg. And also, this is a wine that you're not going to find a lot of places. This is a wine that when I was in Del Mar at the Del Mar Food and Wine Festival, talking with Jenna and talking with Zach, that wasn't even in the States yet. We were just talking about what could be really interesting to provide for Wine Access and for the Wine Access Unfiltered Podcast Wine Club. And we landed upon this Schnaitmann Riesling. So I'm really stoked that we get to include this. I'm super stoked if you're drinking this outside the wine club that you guys get to have a chance to taste it as well, because this is such a special Riesling, and I think it's so representative of what Riesling can do outside of the stereotypes that it sometimes is associated with. So happy drinking to you, and cheers.